Oh, there's so many people here already. Hello, everyone. What I miss? How's it going? Happy religious holidays of your choosing. I think it's Easter today. I don't have an Easter suit, but I do have this onesie, and it's cold in this garage, and I wanted to wear it because it's warm. It's also, I think, the end of Passover, so if you celebrate either of those things, happy that holiday. If there's something else going on, hey, have fun. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. That's all I got. What did I miss? How's everyone doing? I am unbelievably tired all the time as of like 2 weeks ago. So, channel has been a little slow, of course, except for when DeWitt does something incredibly stupid. So bear with me. Now, DeWitt has done some stupid stuff. Nothing too crazy. I know a lot of people are talking about the interview that he posted and then removed like 45 minutes later. I have it. Don't worry. I have a copy of it. I haven't listened to it, but I'm told on good authority that there are edits to it, which Jeremy said he wouldn't do, which I think is hilarious because of course he's going to edit it. Of course he is. Right? And then he took it down. I assume he took it down because it's actually illegal for him to post that while the investigation is still going. Even as the complainant, it is illegal to share that information. So one would assume that Amir's like, Jeremy, remember how we talked about you not committing crimes? You did it again, bud. That's another $500, please. Anyway, yeah, it was fun. So, I mean, he took it down. I don't know if the police are going to do anything about that. I would assume probably not. But there is video of him doing a funeral escort yesterday, and everyone's like, oh, but his license is suspended. I don't think it's suspended yet. I think it's more of a warning that it will be suspended. He has this amount of time until it goes into effect to rectify whatever he didn't do, which I think is like turn in some paperwork that he didn't want to turn in. Couldn't say for sure, but it's fine. There is video of him doing it, and he is holding 2 lanes. And it is very interesting to see it from a driver's perspective, being like, why am I being stopped? Like, why is this lane of traffic stopping? What's going on? It's very, very interesting. And, of course, Jeremy can't hold those 2 lanes. But this is not about Jeremy today, although I'm sure he'll come up. This is about auditors. Oh, my goodness, Arash. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that you did that. Thank you. Hey, how's it going? Arash? Yeah, Arash. Because I pronounce it wrong every single time. And we've had an entire conversation about it. And I always feel bad. Because I'm like, wait, what happened? What did we say? That's on me. That's me being a big dum-dum. Okay? So, Matt, I would love to collaborate with Matt Starnt Retired on a stream. We talk to each other through Discord. We have some good conversations, and he's doing a phenomenal job with the whole Stolen Valor side of things, which isn't something I'm focusing on as much. And I'm really glad that he is. You'll notice I have a Taco Bell cup. Taco Bell, if you want to sponsor me, please do. They were doing a 2-for-1, and I'm like, yes, I would like that, and I need some energy, so hopefully the calories hit soon and make things a little easier. You guys remember the issue I was dealing with the restraining order? Yeah, that's gotten worse. So that's why I'm so tired all the time now and have no time for this channel. And at the moment, for like the next couple weeks to maybe a month, I don't know where I'm going to find the time to do all the things I want to do with this channel, but I'm going to try to make it work for you guys. And because I love doing this and I love interacting with you guys, et cetera, I'm going to try to put out real videos. I promise we're not going to keep doing these long-ass live streams. I love the live streams, but some of you are getting a little tighter than me. I get it. I know it. So, yeah, no, it's not. My friend's doing fine. It's me who's now the target of things. So that's fun. Kind of expected it. Hoped it wouldn't happen. But now I get to deal with attorneys. Because, oh boy, I'm prepping a civil suit, let me tell you. That's a good time. So, but that's me. That's not you. That's on me. That's my problems. So, yeah, I think it's a narwhal. Honestly, you can't really see the horn, so we're not going to put that up. But it is very cold in this garage right now. So, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yes, auditors. So I don't have an auditor in mind, and the reason for that is because someone was being real complainy on my channel. Be like, you hate auditors. And they want to do a live debate, or they did. I'm not so sure they want to anymore. But they did, which would be really fun to express my views on the auditing thing. They were also talking about the thin blue line and some various other things. I'm like, yes, I've actually done videos on all these things. Like, you can watch them and figure out what I'm going to say. So good luck. But they were very concerned that I'm like, all auditors are bad. That's not true. Right? I don't say all auditors are bad. I say the vast majority of the ones that I've seen are bad. Nasty Nathaniel is a guy who I've actually audited with, and I wouldn't audit with him if I didn't think that he had a good thing going as far as the auditing goes. News Now Dallas is someone that I've hyped up quite a bit and been like, look, he does his research. Like, thank you to him. PebMeds. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do we want Glenn Serio again? Because that's going to be an easy one. If we pick a name, right? If we just throw out some names and I'll just grab one and we look up that name plus arrested, and we'll see if the auditor is right or the police officer is right. I will probably not have watched the video. This is entirely just like, off the cuff. We're going to find out. Now, of course, if something gets something wrong or someone gets something wrong, to include a police officer, we're going to take the big bopper, and we're going to smack that button right there. Them's the rules. That's how we're playing it today. So, all right, everyone seems to want Glenn. Now, Glenn is one that is probably going to be in the wrong, having seen his stuff. There are other people. Hey, if you guys want to see police doing the wrong thing, there are other auditors that's more likely. I'm just saying, because some people are like, oh, you only say nice things about police officers. I have my biases. It's true. I'm saying if we want Glenn. Hey, Alec. Hey, happy Easter, you too. If you're who I think you are, Sea of Thieves sometime. Anyway. Yeah, Glenn is always wrong. Eric Brandt is a good one. Wow, what a champion. Is Eric in prison? I feel like he's in prison so often. I unless I'm thinking of a different one. But Eric, I remember being very sort of like, wow, this guy. So, all right, we have Glenn. We have Eric. Keep seeing Eric. Maybe we'll do both. Oh, Auditing America is trash. Auditing America, I think, has gotten a little more savvy about it and just comes real close to that line without crossing it. But he does cross it occasionally. I haven't seen anything too crazy with him recently. Oh, James Freeman. James Freeman. Huachuca Army Base. Is it Army? Whichever. Military base. What were you doing? They almost had him arrested for some stuff, and I'm still mad about it. But I understand why they didn't. Or convicted. They arrested. It doesn't matter. I'm getting my own head with all the information rattling around in there. All right, so James Freeman is very good one. He's borderline sovereign citizen if he hasn't crossed it since I've last seen him. So we have Glenn Serio, we have Eric Brandt, we have James Freeman. I think those are all good choices. Auditing America is a good choice. I haven't seen any of his stuff in a while, though. Oh, my God. Gia, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, I think collaboration definitely is in the works. We'll try that out. You posted something. Rennie posted something in Discord. No, I didn't see that. News Now Patrick. Kind of a crazy guy. His history is not great. All right, I think. Oh goodness. Showtime 987 Audit. If that's the person I'm thinking of, they used to be pretty trash. I assume they've gotten better since I talked to them a couple years ago. But I hope they've gotten better. They had a great sort of thing going, but their legal knowledge was a little iffy. But from what I hear, they have gotten better. I don't hear that much negative about Audit the Audit, which is really great, and I really hope for the best for Audit the Audit. Commentator Auditor, thank you so much. New video on JD is finally uploaded. Yeah, go check out Commentator Auditor's video. And let me look in my Discord. I don't have a plan today, guys, so this is what we're doing. So don't be commenting later, be like, why is he such garbage? It takes too long. All right, Carolina Auditor, Fort Bragg Army leaves base to arrest First Amendment auditors. Oh, yes. Oh, do we want to play that? Where's Merb? He's going to see. Oh, man. So, you guys, this channel basically started because I got mad, or I got frustrated with people not understanding that it's illegal to film or restrict military installation. Use my Walmart camera. All right. This one is actually pretty complicated. I think that's worth doing. I'm going to hold on to Carolina Auditor. Let's do Glenn Serio. Why not? Glenn Serio is easy. And then if we find a good short one, then we'll do the military one. Because Glenn was the first one I saw, and I really like that idea. So Glenn Serio arrested. Let's see. And I'm just going to pick one. All right, punked at the airport, but that's not by him. Auditing the USA, Portland police stole my vehicle, streamed 7 months ago. An hour and 30 minutes. I don't think so. I need... all right, so it's auditing the USA. That's what we're looking for. And we go to his videos. Do you want me to call the police? Bark no bite, but it doesn't look like the police can actually get involved. You don't know if I have a concealed carry. Surprisingly, cop actually de-escalates very well. Notice one cop. I can't even read that. No, I want to see him arrested. Josh, that link I sent is admissible. I haven't looked yet. Josh sent me a link. All right, auditing the USA. Sorry. All right, hold on. Auditing the USA arrested. Let's see. Police arrest me for walking on the sidewalk. All right, that looks like a good one. 29 minutes. We'll be skipping around a bunch. Let's see what happens. All right, so nighttime. All right, we want to establish the facts first. Nighttime. He's got a camera. I don't know what he's filming. We skip. All right.
What's up, guys? Here in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, yeah, he is. That's south of me. What is that?
I'm at the...
I can't read. There's something Kelly building.
Read that.
It's because the lighting on the ridges of that wall are making that real difficult. You got that double shadow thing going on. Super weird. But, like, it's probably not a problem during the day when people would actually use that building. So, like, you know, it's just weird. It's Penumbra Kelly building, I think.
Penumbra?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Kelly building?
Oh, before, I'm just going to interrupt that real quick. There's going to be a lot of pauses. I'm going to stop it a bunch. It's going to happen. All right. If that's not what you want, go watch the original video. Which is Gestapo Tactics. Tyrant police arrest me for walking on the sidewalk. First Amendment audit by auditing the USA. Now, I'm going to look up Penumbra Kelly building and find out exactly what it is. Not that it technically matters, because he's out there filming and he's on a sidewalk. He should be able to film. It's a building restoration service in Portland, Oregon. It was a site that protesters gathered around in September 30th. That is all I know.
Penumbra.
Yes. Skip. Ah, the police are already here, which is probably why he's here. Oh. All right. They're coming out. That's fine. City Portland Police Bureau, Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. So I guess, next to the building is the sheriff's office? He's just, like, out filming the sheriff's office? Okay, that's fine. You can film that. There's no problem here. Let's keep finding out what's happening. It looks like they're setting up cones for something. Maybe there's a crime scene. Okay. Now, if there's blocking off the road with cones, he cannot cross past those cones. That's a pretty good indicator, like, hey, don't come here. I have this theory that they're going to block off the sidewalk. And he's going to be like, no, I still have, I'm still allowed to walk on the sidewalk, which isn't true. But that's my theory based on what I've seen from auditors in the past. Let's keep going. Why gotta make
This is public.
Oh. Here we go. What's up with all the plywood in windows in the door? I think there was a protest out there in September of last year, and some windows were probably smashed. Or this is an area in Portland where windows are being smashed, and people are preemptively putting up plywood. We had that in Seattle as well when the protests were big. Areas around the East Precinct in the Cal Anderson Park area was a significant amount of plywood because people were like, well, there are going to be protests here. This is where it's happening. This is the Chop Chaz zone is. So I'm going to assume that this being Portland, this might be an area where protests have been happening, and so they've just boarded up a little bit to make it harder to smash windows and make replace them a little less costly. Just a guess, just a theory.
What's that?
All right, so police officer says, do me a favor, step back on the sidewalk. So we can assume that Glenn is not on the sidewalk.
And if I don't?
Boom, there it is. All right. So police are there. Presumably they have the authority to make that determination regarding whether or not Glenn is trespassing. He certainly doesn't appear to have permission from the building owner. And if this is next to the police station can absolutely say, hey, this isn't a place that we're going to permit you to walk on. Let's check, actually. Penumbra Kelly building. I want to see what is around it. I'm going to find out. Do we have a police station? Because he was at a sign. All right, Penumbra Kelly. Data processing. You got a parking lot for something. Not sure. But, yeah, no. Being like, hey, this isn't your property, walk on, get back, is pretty much fair game. If you actually go to Florida, those of you in Florida, you see signs in, for example, Miami that say, hey, police absolutely have the authority to tell you to leave, right? If you're on this property and police are like, go, yeah, the owners have already given permission for that. Now, the owners, this being an area where presumably based on the boarded up windows, there are protests, the owners of that building, it's fairly likely that they've already told police, like, yeah, anyone on the property, if it's after hours, you can trespass them. That's good to go. We could assume that.
Trespassing where?
Okay, so it is the precinct. He said the precinct is closed. Trespassing onto the precinct. All right. Now, the arguments can be made, well, that's government property, which means it's public property, which means you can access it. No, that property, the only place that you're really allowed to access without, other permissions is the lobby. Like, that's the lobby and, a path to and from it. Anywhere else, the police can be like, yeah, no, you can't just be, like, setting up a campsite on our back lawn. You can't be just wandering through. Your camera means nothing in this case. Now, he can film the police. Filming the police is not the issue here. It's almost never the issue. Not that it isn't the issue sometimes. There are, of course, some pretty major cases where it was a thing. Glick versus Cuniff is a very popular one that's cited. There's Fordyce versus City of Seattle is a very popular one in this area that is cited. Taco Josh, thank you so much. Oh, yeah. I heard about that. I'm so sorry about the catnat. Just deep condolences about that. But thank you for your donation. But regarding the precinct, it's after hours. There's no business that this person could be having on the property. And it's technically a non-public forum, meaning that it is open to the public during specific hours for a specific purpose. He is not there on those specific hours. He is not there for the purpose that the building is designated for. So absolutely, he can be trespassed from this property, despite the fact that it is government property. It's kind of complicated. A lot of auditors are unfamiliar with this for some reason, even though this is one of the things they definitely need to know about if they can audit. But Glenn's not terribly intelligent, so there we are.
Public. This is public, right?
He is using the public excuse. Oh. Oh.
What's that? Or what?
Or you're going to be arrested.
He's okay. That's a second warning. Get on the sidewalk, or you'll be arrested. Now, telling someone to do something and then giving them basically the consequence is excellent legally, right? Do this, or else you will, be detained, be arrested, be struck in the face with a fish. I don't know. That is a valid trespass warning, 100%. Now, if I were auditing, I would then start backing up to the sidewalk because, yes, they have the legal authority to tell me to get off the property of the precinct. And I have no right to be on the precinct property after hours. None. So Glenn is wrong here. So he gets a little bop of the, you know what, we're going to do it again just because he deserves it from the wide view. So there we go.
Or what?
Look, if the supervisor's vehicle pulls up, tells you to do something, tells you that if you don't do it, you'll be arrested, and then police officers start pouring out of that vehicle, might be in your best interest to get on the sidewalk, since he is technically trespassing.
Difficult for you to understand? I'm on the sidewalk. Get out of the driveway. Oh, you guys are a gang.
Okay, so he's actually blocking the driveway, and although he may not be blocking the vehicle, that's not a place that you're generally going to be permitted to stand. Right, there is a bit of argument back and forth that can be made. Like, this is still the sidewalk. You know, I am not actually blocking the vehicle, and they could say, "Oh, you were close enough that there's concern that we might hit you." And since this is actually designated for our use than yours, that is actually an easement through our driveway. Basically, it's a whole thing. It gets weirdly complicated. But yes, they can say, "Hey, move away from the driveway, basically step back to the main portion of the sidewalk." Perfectly fair, perfectly valid.
You guys are a gang.
All right, have a good night, sir.
You guys are a fucking gang.
Oh, no.
Oh no. And he's allowed to tell them that. That's freedom of speech. My concern is that he's going to forget about volume, right? You have the freedom to say these things. Your volume is where you usually mess up as far as auditors go, is they'll get too loud, especially at nighttime, quiet hours. Not good. Now, if I was in Seattle, for example, and I started yelling at police, I believe they would have to warn me for a volume complaint. Be like, "Hey, you are being too loud. You need to stop," before they could actually do anything about it. But in Portland, for their disorderly conduct, that might be different. I don't know if they're going to use disorderly conduct, but I don't know. It kind of feels like they're responding to something. They have a bike on the front of that car. That's usually something that you'd use if you needed bike patrol in an area. I know Portland and Seattle use bike patrol for riot control. I don't know if that's what they're doing, but just things to think about. Not terribly related.
Literally a gang, dude.
Okay, be safe. Bye-bye.
Okay, be safe.
Don't get shot. Don't get shot.
He's such an asshole. The police were direct with him. They weren't rude. They said, "Hey, do this or else this." That's their job to tell you these things. Don't get shot. Calm down, dude. He's gonna do it again.
Gang. You guys are a gang.
They're all waving. They're being friendly.
Wow.
Yeah, the fact that they're loading up those police cars like that, I think they might be responding to or preparing to respond to some sort of civil unrest.
Those guys are tyrants.
How are they tyrants? There's nothing tyrannical about it. You trespassed on the property after hours. That's the stupidest thing. That's what I hate about auditors sometimes, right? Is the auditing stuff is fine. It's the people who are doing it that I have a problem with. That's not tyrannical in any way. That's them saying, "Hey, you can't be on our property. It's after hours. There's no reason for you to be here. We can tell you to get off." That's fine. There's nothing tyrannical. He's just butthurt because they gave him an order. He doesn't like it. Not a tyrant.
Wow.
They really are.
I never seen.
John, yes, they have a rose on their police vehicles because they are Rose City, is what is like the nickname for Portland, which is why you'll see things like Rose City Antifa or Emerald City Antifa for Seattle, that sort of thing. But yeah, they have a rose on theirs.
Cops
It's fun.
that
It's
we're gonna,
interesting.
you know, this is public. They can't trespass you from this.
Yeah,
They
they can.
How?
can.
By declaring it over the loudspeaker and then striking you with batons or...
Oh, okay. So apparently they can declare it not public by saying it over their loudspeaker and then striking you in the face with a baton. That's stupid. That's stupid talk. You were on their property. You don't get to just stand there if you're not on the sidewalk. And he wasn't on the sidewalk. He was blocking or standing in the driveway across which the sidewalk is an easement designed to get you across it, not to allow you to stand in the center of it. Now, if you did decide to stand in the center of it and not allow those vehicles to pass, yes, you get hit by trespassing, but it's more likely you can get hit with obstruction, which is probably going to be worse and easily enforceable, or a conviction would probably be more easy to obtain, Not a good idea what he's doing. It's just stand on the normal sidewalk, right? It's really, really simple.
This is public.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I live on this block. One of them tried to steal my phone as I was filming them.
Yeah, I'd like to see evidence. If you were filming them, where's the video? They tried to steal my phone while I was filming them. Then you have video. Submit that for a complaint. File a lawsuit. Do all that stuff. I'm calling BS on that.
These guys are crazy.
Another one, ran at me in a badonkey.
What was Juan saying? I missed it.
Charge into my front yard.
Whoa.
In my front
Yeah,
yard.
they're really shit neighbors.
Where did everyone else go?
I don't know. I think it all kind of wound down for the
But it's been going for like 70.
Stroke Assaulter says you may only enter public property for purposes intended for its designed use, having genuine business inside the building. That's pretty much it. Now you'll see a lot of auditors that go into police buildings and they file paperwork and then start filming. And they've learned to do that because just being in the building and filming is not good enough because they're not there for its designated purpose. But if they are filing paperwork, then they are doing a legitimate thing that building is designed to do, or have done in it, and then they can film police doing their law enforcement duties, which would be, the paperwork stuff. And that's what they do to sort of get around this whole trespassing thing. But this is not a circumstance that we're seeing in which that is applicable. They aren't using anything here for its intended use other than filming. That driveway, the intended use is not to have someone stand in it, right? You can cross it, but you don't get to stand in it. That's not what it is. That is not correct, especially if police cars are leaving, for sure. So it's nuts. It really is.
2 nights, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Wow, these guys are tyrants.
They're not.
You're a
though.
fucking tyrant, dude.
They're not though.
You're a fucking piece of shit.
I mean, he might be. I don't know the guy. This is protected by freedom of speech. That's fine. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh look.
So they probably just turned on their overheads, just the bright lights, so they can see what's going on there. That's fair. Now the argument might be made that they're trying to stop the filmers from filming. Well, they should. There's an enormous spider just crawling up to my ceiling. Hi. Oh, I kind of want to bring it to the camera. Good God, that thing's huge. That's like a solid 2 inches across. I think it's daddy long legs or something. Dang, dude. Okay, catch those flies. All right. I just wow. Sorry, I got very distracted by that. Yeah, no, they're not. What are they stopping the people from filming? Nothing, right? Like the cameras are still working. They're filming the police turning on their overheads, which is the bright lights that we see. Wait for it. I'll show you. All right, that's probably right there.
Oh,
I mean, those look like overheads.
Oh look! Oh look! Oh look!
And now it kind of looks like he's trespassing, right? Because he's walking onto their property. Kind of weird, huh? Like it amazes me. He's like, why do I get in trouble? Because you put yourself in these circumstances. You're definitely wrong. Oh, it kills me. All right, now he's walking on the sidewalk. That's fine.
Scumbags.
Then on this part of the sidewalk, he can be on, no problem. Let's see where he's going next. Oh, he's going back. Do it. Yes.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
You're picking up the aftermath, huh?
Aftermath.
You're picking up the aftermath?
Yeah.
Cool.
My neighborhood, I care about it.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, they'll just leave shit strewn out for weeks.
I'm guessing it's a protest-related thing. I mean, it's not the police's job to pick this stuff up. It's the city has a different organization that picks up litter. It's not the officer's job. if litter's not being picked up, call the city and say, hey, whoever's supposed to clean the streets needs to come out here and deal with that. I'm almost certain Portland has a specific group that is employed to do that. Why are you blaming the police for every single issue ever? It boggles my mind. There are issues. There are issues to blame the police for. Undoubtedly. This is not one of them. Kills me.
Yeah, they're just tyrants, man. I thought Seattle was bad. Oh my.
I was breaking the law, and then the police told me to stop breaking the law. They're tyrants. Seattle police are actually really good. I've never had a bad interaction with a Seattle police officer. I'm sure other people have, but they have a lot of training, and they don't end up on. You want to talk about bad police? Baltimore 2015, right? That I don't know if Baltimore's improved, but I definitely remember them being kind of. But like Seattle's actually really good. It's just that they know the law better than Glenn does, and Glenn thinks that when they correct him, they're being tyrants, which is the stupidest thing. Because if every time Glenn was corrected that made someone a tyrant, the entire world would basically be tyrannical. But somehow he's a free island in the middle of a sea of tyranny. It doesn't make sense. Like, Glenn, you are the one who is wrong.
My God. I never had cops
Professional
charge me
victim.
like
Professional victim is a great way to put it.
that before.
I never had police be like that. It's not true. We've seen that. Come on, Glenn. Do something else stupid. I don't know if you guys can pick up on this. I don't like Glenn Serio at all. I think he is an idiot. What do we have going on? He's just meandering and he's filming, that's fine. Get him, Glenn. Get him. Do it. Yeah, get him. Get their license plate. Patience. Shady's blow doll. Hey, thank you. I'll keep that in mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Glenn. I didn't mean to insult. Look, I didn't realize you were a protected class. I apologize. Oh, NYPD has a long history of abuses. That's true. 90s was a pretty bad time. They are improving, which is great. But yeah, NYPD has some issues. Los Angeles has some issues. 90s, 80s, 90s. A lot of issues throughout the country. But this day and age, Seattle, doing pretty well. Portland, they're a lot less strict than I would have liked. They do a fine job. They're very relaxed about a lot of things that I'm just like, what? Seattle is less relaxed. I mean, I'm talking about protests for the most part. And that's not necessarily the police's fault. That's also, the city of Portland being like, hey, guys, haha, wait a second. Seattle was also a little chill, but once they realized that being chill wasn't effective, they flipped that switch pretty good. And they were like, we're going to give you a chance to protest, but we're not going to tolerate the violence that comes from certain groups that are protesting. I think Seattle definitely sort of tried following Portland's thing, and they're like, no, which is fair. Oh, Montana. No, I'm glad people document police interactions too. I document police interactions, but I know what my limits are legally, and I like to think I'm a polite person. That's not going to change when it comes to a police officer. Now, if they're trying to screw me over, oh boy, I'll get mad. We've seen that. I did some video game streams where there was a police role play thing in Gary's mod, and I got like legitimately furious at some of these people. And like they're not even real police. I was like, how can you possibly role play police when you think this is what they do? It's not. You are actually making it worse for people that think that this is how police it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Oh yeah, Alec, that was fun. We should do that again sometime. Alec was the one with me doing it. I got legitimately angry. Whole bunch of nothing. All right, Multnomah Sheriff, 4753 East. Was it Burnside? Yes. Okay. People coming and going. He's standing right in the middle again, but he is moving. That's good. He is moving. If he's just standing still, that could be a problem. If he's moving, well, he is using the sidewalk as intended. Now, if you keep crossing back and forth, now a question rises. But right now, not seeing a huge issue. Just a questionable flow. What are you doing? Loud truck.
Regular car?
Oh.
Hey, are those police vehicles in the regular cars? Those are cops?
Are those police vehicles in the regular cars? Yes, they have police cars in the cars. I assume he's asking if they're undercover police vehicles. Don't know.
In the truck? They're personal vehicles, huh? Wow.
What's wow about it? They got to park somewhere when they work, right? Usually when you go to work at a building, you park in a parking lot, right? JD's blow-up doll, thank you. He has to move occasionally, blood sugar and all. He's not exactly the fittest guy, is he? That's on him.
These guys are tyrants.
For what, dude?
These guys are tyrants.
What are they
man.
tyrants for? Glenn, send me an email. What are they tyrants for? Because they told you that you were wrong and they were right? Kind of weird.
Be taught a lesson.
What lesson?
They have to be taught a lesson.
What lesson, Glenn? What are you going to teach him? You going to teach him how not to behave? I think they already got that pretty well covered watching you and what you do, and they probably think to themselves, "Gosh, I'm glad that's not me." Like honestly, dude, Glenn makes me mad because he's just such a moron. He's such a moron. He's just kind of a horrible human being. There are videos of him just going on these racist tirades. I hate who he is as a person. In filming, I don't care. But he's just so incredibly dumb.
These cops are fucking tyrants.
He is a Karen, isn't he? Is it a Dolphins hoodie? No, it's a narwhal onesie. Go on, Glenn. Go on, get arrested.
Cops like that.
I'm gonna go cry. Oh, jaywalking. No, well, he's picking up. You know what? I'd allow it, right? He's picking up trash. It's fine. Good for him. Brilliant, thank you.
You know, police.
What's the feet on my... Oh, these feet. So, I guess it's time to show this off. So, you guys, I don't know if you guys saw that someone donated money to a gorilla charity, basically, under the name Jeremy DeWitt Sr. I had no part in that. But some people decided to send me Jeremy DeWitt Sr., which is this little guy here. let me zoom in on that. So anyway, yeah, they got me a gorilla. John Coyote, that's not a Weeble and Bob reference, is it? I really hope it is, but it might not be. But yeah, there's it's very soft, and I'm keeping it up there for right now. And that's what those feet are. He's gonna fall out of there at some point. Steven, thank you. How can you see those feet? Yeah, that's right. All right. So, anyway, let's keep watching this. Jeremy's too cute to be Jeremy's father. Keep him away from the spiders. Do gorillas eat spiders? I feel like they would.
Police are supposed to be here to serve and protect.
No. Police are there to do a job, right? To enforce laws. Now, the serve and protect is more of a more advertisement. You know, it's good, you know, public affairs stuff than anything. Yeah, they serve, but they're not servants, right? They serve the community in the sense that they enforce crimes. They protect in the sense that they enforce crimes. They enforce crimes. They're crime enforcers, basically. They go out and they say, all right, what crime is being committed? What community needs patrolling? What protesters do we have to stop, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a lot more to it than that. But like, they are not your servant. Your tax money doesn't mean you get to tell them what to do. No, just because you want them to behave a certain way does not mean that they're going to do that. JD's blow up doll. Gwen does have supporters. Oh, yes. He does have followers. People agree with him, and that concerns me, right? Similarly, like, people who are too pro-police concern me in the same way. When you see someone doing something wrong, you should be able to call them out. And if you're too pro-police, you might not be willing to do that. If you're too pro-auditor, you might not be willing to call Gwen out for his stupidity.
Not harass and collect. These cops are like bullies. They're like,
oh, they told me I was wrong. It's weak to me.
They're like thugs, They're.
Oh yeah. Let me say that out. Derek has a petition, Stop Metro State, and it's a petition to say, hey, I don't support Jeremy doing these funerals because he's claiming stolen valor, and we understand that some of these funerals are veterans, and we think that it's dishonest to the families, et cetera, et cetera. So if that's something you want to sign, feel free, by all means. I don't know what it'll actually do, but
gangbangers almost,
For why would
thugs, They're gangbangers almost.
That makes 0 sense. 0 cents, Glenn. Just like most stuff that comes out of your mouth.
For sure. And they'll shake you down.
That's right, yeah. You paid for that uniform, so you get to tell them how to wear it, right? Like, hey, officer, I paid for that uniform. Take it off. Ooh. Yeah, officer. Yeah, ooh, get that. Ooh, little shoulder, officer. Ooh. No, that's not how that works. That's stupid. I know. I assume you're making a joke. I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying the people who legitimately think that this is a thing are stupid. I assume Glenn legitimately thinks it's a thing, just because of how he is and how he acts.
System and fucking steal all your money and
right.
You steal all your money.
steal your.
So these guys are all leaving.
Tarek, thank you so much. You mean our tax dollars? When do you think was the last time Glenn filed taxes? You paid for the uniform, cars, etc. He will tell you. Yeah, Glenn. Tax returns. Do you pay taxes? I don't think a lot of these auditors do, honestly. I couldn't say for sure, though.
Leaving, huh?
Yeah.
Jeff Proctor, police who see police doing wrong should stop the behavior by employing whatever means necessary. Well, it's actually way more complicated than that. And I would be, you know what, let's get into it. So, let's say you see an officer doing something that's like, ooh, is that really wrong? Or is it just ill-advised, right? Now, what do? Do you stop them? They go, no, I'm going to keep doing this because it gets results. Okay. Well, do you physically restrain them? And then what happens? If you're wrong, you get arrested for unlawfully restraining a police officer and obstruction. You go to jail. You'll never work in that career again that you spent 15 years building. Your wife will divorce you. You'll lose your kids. You won't have a home. You'll have no money and no source of income because you will be a disgraced police officer, right? Now, if it's, they're beating up a child who's done nothing, okay, that's really easy. But a lot of these issues with police officers, isn't something as easy as, are they beating up police or a child? It's, ooh, you probably shouldn't have asked that question because you didn't advise them of their Miranda rights. No, it's fine. It's fine. The prosecutor will take care of that because they'll see that, like, it won't be admissible, so it's not going to matter in the end, right? It's going to be things like that. But how willing are you to, challenge a police officer when it means risking your entire, life? If not like your physical life, but like your career, your family, etc. Do you have evidence? If you don't have evidence, well, good luck, right? If you do have evidence, what happens if there is a bad police officer that's hiding it, and then all of a sudden you don't have evidence, right? This isn't a black and white thing. This is incredibly complicated, and police work at the higher levels is incredibly political. This is a huge thing. And I've reported police officers. I've been in the middle of it, and I can tell you, it is not enjoyable for the reporting officer. And it's so much easier just to keep your head down and say, if I don't get fired, I can still help people. I can still be a good cop, right? If I don't challenge this thing that I don't know if I can challenge, at least I can still be making a difference in the community, and we'll get them next time. But if I report it and then I get removed from the force because variety of reasons. Well, oh gosh, I can't be a helper anymore, and my entire life is ruined, right? This is not a simple thing. And I get what you're saying. Now, if we want to fix this, I think it's less the duty of the individual officers and more the duty of agencies that hold police accountable to get involved, right? And then you can submit anonymous reports, etc., and they can do more. There are agencies that actually don't really have a strong internal affairs section. That needs to change. I think there should be multiple agencies dealing with it. There are issues that can be solved, but relying on officers to report other officers is not going to solve them. That's, I mean, here and there, sure, but not the majority when it's like small things. And if you work a job, let's say you work at a grocery store, you're a cashier, and one of your cashiers drops a dollar bill, and someone picks it up and runs off. Now their drawer is short. Do you think they should be fired for making a mistake? What's grounds for firing for a mistake? You know, do we retrain them? What do we do? Right? And you go, oh, well, being a cashier is not the same as having someone's life in your hands. It's not. But you have to understand that nobody is perfect. Police are human. We do need to hold them accountable for their small mistakes, or else they will learn that there are certain things they can get away with. But this is such a complicated issue that it's so much. And I'm not saying that you're like, oh, you know, police, you know, bad apples, whatever. But like, I do want to make everyone understand, because you brought that up, and I appreciate that you brought that up. This is a super complicated thing. Having been involved in that, super complicated. But anyway, that's my rant about that.
Cops,
Let's keep watching.
So. I try not to
What's he gonna do? Yeah, point that camera at them. Yeah. Okay.
Just give the garbage back.
Littering. Okay. That's a fine right there. Real stupid to do that in front of the police. That's not the police's litter. Unless it's like discarded stuff from a riot. I don't know. Like, look. Bad move. Real bad move.
Back to them, right? Smart.
What is that? What's on the ground there?
Just give the garbage back to them, right?
Looks like water bottles, a can of some sort, maybe a spray paint. I don't know. Like, that's weird. I would love to audit Metro State. I think that'd be really fun, but I'm not there. I'm on the other side of the country.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
What's worse, police auditors or sovereign citizens? Sovereign citizens by far. Now, and I say that because auditing is a legitimate thing that I would encourage in certain circumstances, 100%. What Glenn is doing here is not legitimate auditing. He's trying to get views for his YouTube channel by harassing police officers and making a fool of himself. He's trying to create a situation that wouldn't exist otherwise for him. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't exist out in the wild, but for him, he's trying to create a situation, and I think that's despicable of him. But sovereign citizens are pretty dangerous people. They're like auditors, but further in the sense that they legitimately believe the government is illegitimate, and some of them are willing to take pretty drastic means to make their points. Whereas auditors will say like, "Oh, you're a tyrant. I'm filing a complaint." Sovereign citizens might go so far as to kidnap a judge, and I say that because that's a legitimate thing that happened. It's sovereign citizens, for sure, I'd put way higher on the list of dangerous and despicable people. Which is why James Freeman is such an interesting character, because he's so close to being a sovereign citizen.
Yep. Give the garbage back to the pigs.
Okay. God, he's just such a horrible human being, isn't he?
Give the garbage back.
We got water bottles, bags, a Fred Meyer's bag. Like, is that the police officer's bag? Are these their water bottles? Is that like a juice box? What is that? Why would that be theirs? All right, they turn the
doesn't like being filmed.
Lights back on.
He doesn't like being filmed.
See there? Is this even auditing? I would say no. I think it's a man with a camera acting a fool, trying to get arrested. Police can definitely turn their lights on. They see a strange man walking by. If they want to illuminate him to see what he's going to do. That, not a problem.
He's got to shine his little light. He doesn't like to be filmed.
No, he wants to see who you are and what you're doing. Because you're acting very suspiciously. Your camera's not going to see him. Your camera isn't seeing who that is. Like, why would he be stopping the camera? It's too dark to pick him up.
Right.
Come on, Glenn, get yourself arrested.
Okay, so, I mean...
All right, hold on. Sorry. What's happening?
Okay, so, I mean, is that normally what you guys do is, like, attack people?
Is that normally what you guys do is attack people? At what point are you being attacked, Glenn? What are you doing?
I don't...
Officer says, why would we attack people? Fair.
No, I was attacked. I have it on film. Like, literally, like, 4 cops jumped out of a police cruiser and threatened to, like, bash my head in.
They at no... Oh, my fucking God, dude. Ugh. That doesn't deserve a full plate, but... That was just too small of a piece. All right, hold on. Let me get ready. Are you kidding me? What are you thinking? All right, they survived. It's fine. What are you thinking, dude? What are you thinking? Andrea, thank you. Come on. Yeah, no. They didn't. They told you that you were trespassing, and then they came out of their car to be like, hey, stop trespassing. Right? They didn't threaten you. They didn't threaten to bash you. You made that up. You even said that on camera, like, oh, you know, that's a thing they do is threaten. Now you're just making things up in your head. You say you have it on video. You don't have it on video. If you shared that with the police and went, hey, I have this on video, they would laugh at you and then maybe charge you with misusing police resources, right? You're a goddamn idiot. That's the stupidest thing. And thank you, Tarek. Thank you. Well, I eat in anger because of Glenn. I don't think I have any more hamburger helper. I do have some more Taco Bell, but I actually kind of want to eat it. Sponsor me, Taco Bell. They won't. Anyway. Yeah, they said you are breaking the law. If you don't stop breaking the law, we will arrest you. And they came out of the car to be able to do exactly that. But Glenn doesn't like that because he doesn't know how the law works.
So, I need to file some reports immediately.
Now, he can file reports, that's fine. That is his right. But, like, the officer doesn't have to take it on the side of the road. If you have it on video and you're not, like, it's not a threat, come back during business hours. Shocking.
I would call a non-emergency line. You know what non-emergency?
Oh, yeah, call the non-emergency line.
I don't know, but I can find it.
Yeah, this is a non-emergency line type situation. I like that the officer suggested that.
It's 503-823-3333.
Jeff Proctor, can an officer take a statement knowing that he's lying in order to effect arrest for a false report? Ooh. Maybe? I wouldn't arrest. If I knew someone was filing a false report, I'd let them file it, and then I would just make a case on it and get them later on a warrant. I wouldn't use that for an immediate arrest. But, yeah, possibly. An officer could take that statement knowing he's lying.
And what is your name, badge number?
I'm not.
Oh, you.
Ho! 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 Oh! Oh, no. Oh, no, officer. You done goofed. That officer is wrong. See, in Portland, they do have to give a name and badge number. That's a problem right there. Now, if I was Glenn, and I don't like Glenn, but that officer messed up right there, I'd go and I'd get that patrol car's number, which is probably going to be on the back of it. At very least the plate, and then they can figure out who is driving. Now, there is a chance for this officer to save it by saying, well, I'm not actually a police officer. I'm just someone who's driving the vehicle from point A to point B, at which point you go, but why are your lights
But you
on?
understand you're required to identify yourself.
Oh, don't do
You're
it. Don't drive
breaking
away. Don't do it.
policy and
Don't do it.
procedures. Don't do it. You'll lose your job, buddy.
Oh. Now, Glenn is wrong. Glenn is wrong about them being tyrants and about his right to stand on the sidewalk where you're standing about it. He is not wrong here. That officer, that is a big problem for that officer. It could be. Allie, thank you for the Breakable Fund, the Hamburger Helper Fund, or the Taco Bell Fund. Yay, Taco Bell. Yay. Thank you so much. No, I have to side with Glenn on this one. That officer is definitely done goofing. He's new boot goofing right now.
Okay.
Just zoop. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't arrest him for that. I'm a little worried now. Okay, no, he was just putting the lights on to flip a Yui. That's fine. Sometimes an officer has to do things that aren't technically street legal while responding to an incident, which they are generally allowed to do per the state's applicable laws. They'll have exemptions for speeding, stop signs, etc., specifically for police. So they'll flip on the lights so that people see that they're doing it and don't crash into them, and they'll do that sort of thing. So that was a problem right there.
Well, there we go. At least they bagged up. Yep, bagged up and ready to go.
Yeah, I can stay in the road so they can run over it with their tires and blow up.
Okay, yeah, so he's talking about putting trash in the road to blow out police tires. That is, in Seattle, that's actually a variety of things. That would be intentional destruction of government property. There's a good one that I can't remember. Malicious mischief. Obstruction of a roadway. If he was standing in the road, there's a lot. Don't do that, guys. Don't put little booby traps in the road. Don't stand in the road and try to get hit, especially when you're dealing with the police, who are the ones who might be hitting you. That's just so incredibly stupid. Now, people say, like, oh, but Blue Bacon, you have your biases. You're super pro-police. This guy is on the opposite. I'm not super pro-police. I'm pro-police. There's a limit to how pro-police I am. But this right here is a guy intentionally trying to make officers' jobs more difficult because he's upset with the situations he puts himself in, right? Like, this is so far on the other side of that line. And the fact that people defend this is just mind-boggling to me.
Out their tires.
Conspiracy to commit destruction on federal properties in Montana Silver. Well, it wouldn't be federal property. The road would be state property. And these vehicles are also state property. So it would be, if all of them are agreeing to do it, you could get them all with conspiracy to, destroy state property, whatever it would be written as. In Portland, because I know in Seattle there'll probably be, I just said it like 30 seconds ago. Whatever I said 30 seconds ago would be that. But, like, that definitely is illegal. Now, Cheeto wasting police time. I mean, yeah, you could get hit with potentially misuse of police resources, depending on how the statute is written. I don't know how it is in Portland. I don't know if this would count in Seattle. And usually the laws are pretty similar, I think, between Portland and Seattle, if I remember correctly, the ones I've looked at, but I'm not really sure.
Turn the spotlight on, so be careful.
Yeah, because you're being weird. He wants to see you. That's why he's turning the spotlight on.
Oh, you done cracking skulls for the night? Okay.
That's just him being an asshole, but he can say that. I would caution him about the volume at which he is saying that, because it's nighttime, but, I don't know exactly what time it is or, what the volume is. It can be deceiving on a camera, microphone that's close to a person, so.
They refuse to identify themselves, too.
And he's right. That is a problem that the police refuse to do that.
That's against policy and procedures. Don't worry. You're going to find out who I am pretty soon. So don't worry.
When they arrest him.
You're fucked, dude. Failure to identify.
Wait, is this the guy who's failing to identify right there? Is that just someone else who's also there? I think that's a different car. Why would this guy be in trouble? I don't know what's going through this guy's head. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Oh, we got someone pulling up behind. Okay, yeah, they're just pulling in. It's fine. You're going to find out real quick. That's right. No, Verdian's probably not a firing offense, but it would be a slap on the wrist, depending on if it's the officer's first time or not. First time, they're probably going to get something in their record saying, like, they were advised that they have to identify themselves. And then if it happens again, it's probably going to be more, I don't actually know. I've never been hit with this sort of thing, especially as a military police. We have different types of punishment than the civilians do. I've never received any for my policing, so I don't really know what the circumstance for this would be.
Let me see your hands. I want to make sure you don't have a weapon in your hand.
Not how that works. You have no authority to disarm anyone other than a citizen's arrest, which is not applicable here. There's no reason for the police officer to show their hands. Now, if the police officer is dealing with you, yes, they can say, hey, you're not detained. Keep your hands out of your pockets, because they actually might have a weapon. Police weapons are easily visible, and they are trained for when they cannot draw them. So when people say that, when Glenn does this a lot, and every time he does it, I think he's just an absolute moron for doing it.
Hands. Let me see your hands.
Why are they reluctant to identify James? I have no idea. Like, that's a weird thing. That's like policing 101. It might be because of the climate with protesters and police. He's like, I don't want you to know who I am. But it doesn't really matter. Like, they don't have to give you their home address necessarily, but, a badge number for sure. And I believe Portland also needs to give the last name of the officer. However, when you're dealing with Federal Protective Service, they only have to display a badge number. They don't actually, I don't think, verbally have to tell you anything. It's a department policy, and it comes down to your right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. If you're going to petition the government for redress of grievances on a particular officer, you have to know or be able to identify who that officer is. So most police departments will say, okay, last name and badge number. It will be displayed, and it will be verbally given, unless it is unsafe for them to do so, which would not be applicable here. But when you're dealing with, like, federal officers, they don't necessarily have to do that. They might only have to verbally say their badge number, or they might only have to display it, in which case they just go, you have a camera, you're recording it, you got it. All right, cool. So I don't know why that officer would fail to identify in this circumstance, but there are a few reasons why. I don't think those reasons would excuse him from not doing it, though. My hoodie does have mittens. Yeah, they're great. Is there some chanting I'm hearing? Someone's yelling. I can't hear it, though. That officer would not be a federal agent. Or shouldn't be. I mean, maybe he was driving a Portland police vehicle. In which case, that would probably protect the agent from repercussions. But his badge number wouldn't be visible. Like, there still has to be some sort of identification, usually. I don't like it. I don't like that situation. I don't like that happened. I don't like Glenn, but that's not going to stop me from calling out the police when they do something wrong. Someone's coming up.
I'm glad that you're out here.
Sidewalk, I'm trespassing. No, they came at me with like 4 guys, and they said, like, I better get on the sidewalk, I'm trespassing.
Thank you, Tony. Home from the accident with the semi? Oh, yeah, you were. Hey, it's good to see that you're back home. Yeah, Glenn's like, oh, they had 4 guys come out of the car telling me I was trespassing. Yes, that's exactly what happened. You were trespassing. You were standing on their property in an easement that's designed for, movement from one side of that driveway to the other. It's not designed for you to, or designated for you to stand there. And I think he was maybe a little too far forward. Not really sure, but I mean, that's, in my mind, that's pretty fair. You don't get to just stand there, right? And you gain, or you lose nothing by moving over 2 feet and continuing to film. Nothing is lost. So for him to be like, I want to stand there, it kind of seems like he's trying to escalate things so that he can get a good video. Pepmatch, thank you. Please break something for me. What pissed me off is the only reason he's doing this is to harass the police and maybe force them into a mistake. Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's doing, because that's kind of what a lot of these auditors do, and that's why I don't like the community that much, because they encourage this type of stuff. Let's see, what do I have? Should break. All right. Pemets, in honor of your request. Let's see. Didn't break that well. Well, that's why we have this one. Ha-ha! Ow! Some of that came back and hit me in the leg. Save this guy for later. Yeah, so the whole trespassing thing, not a problem. Not identifying, problem, potentially.
And they were like going to use like deadly force.
No one said
Yeah,
that
no-
any deadly force. You said deadly force is going to be used, Glenn. The police did not say deadly force is going to be used. You made that up and then continue to roll with it in your mind to be like, I will justify this by making things up and believing them to be true, even though they came out of my mouth. They never said they were going to use deadly force. You absolute moron. Jesus Christ. And now he's telling these people this, like, this is true. And they're going to be like, I guess the police are bad. And they're going to spread it to all their friends, even though Glenn is lying. And he could be held civilly responsible, actually, for that. Because that is slander. That's absolutely slander. What an absolute idiot. I hope someone sues him.
They're fucking crazy.
No, they fucking charged people when we just
Did you get that on camera?
I got it on video, yeah.
No, you didn't. It never
They're
happened.
fucked. And that guy, he fails to identify. All cops have to identify
Yes.
their name and
Okay, it is a little more complicated than that. But in that circumstance, yes, that officer was probably required to identify.
badge
You're
number.
a public servant.
Yeah, public servant doesn't mean what you think it does, dude.
You oblige to us. We don't oblige to you.
So he's failed to
You oblige to us. We don't oblige to you. Also not how that works, but good job.
identify.
And now he started a little protest because he's an idiot. What a fucking moron. I hate this man, like, unbelievably. So much. And now you get into the concern of noise complaint. If they're being too loud, this could be disorderly conduct. And they're not being too loud, though. They're being pretty reasonable, which is nice.
All cops are bastards. ACAB. All cops are bastards. ACAB.
James, I didn't hear deadly force is authorized to be crossed the sidewalk.
All cops are bastards. ACAB. All cops are bastards.
And this video is now demonetized. And they're going to do
They're
the
almost
protest.
defunded.
All right,
Need
who are
them
these?
to quit their job. They're going to be defunded.
Oh, okay. This black bloc protesters kind of looks like. This might be Rose City Antifa. Might just be a bunch of people dressed in black. This is, considering the time this took place in and the protests that were happening, this is almost certainly black bloc protesters against the police. They don't need to verify his story. Police being bad? We'll jump on that. We don't need the proof. Well done, guys. To be fair, that behavior is not limited to them. It's just I've seen them do that a lot. So
Pretty soon.
Defunded.
They're almost defunded.
yeah, it hasn't really worked out so well, huh?
We don't need dirty cops.
You don't get no vacation.
Well, it's a good thing that no cop here has been confirmed to be dirty in this video. One of them done goofed and could face a consequence for it. Doesn't make them a dirty cop.
No more.
Your pension's gone.
No, fine. Fine
The
and grand.
pension's done, my man.
Ooh, inciting a riot. I'd have to look into the statute for that, but that's a fun thought.
You might even get arrested for your crimes.
Who's getting arrested for their crimes? The police?
Oh, yeah. They'll be arrested.
What crimes?
Watch out. We got one. Watch out.
No issues.
He needed back up. The little bitch needed back
I
up.
just don't understand what I do to get called back.
The little bitch needs back up.
It's like they're imitating Glenn without realizing it, which makes me kind of happy.
Cop tears don't mean shit.
Police are people, ladies and gentlemen, and when you treat them poorly, they're going to be, their work will get worse. When this is what the police deal with every single day, do you think they're going to be nice to you? Do you think they're going to be friendly? Do you think they're going to actually do things that support the community out of their, the goodness of their own hearts? No. You're literally making police worse by coming after them and engaging in this kind of behavior. You're an idiot. if this is you in that video, if you're one of these people, you're an absolute moron. And you are literally making the problems worse for yourselves. Well done. I'm looking for that arrest.
Use deadly force. To ask him why you would be able to use deadly force.
Rennie says 9 Alpha 0.84.010. Riot. A person is guilty of the crime of riot if acting with 3 or more other persons. He or she knowingly and unlawfully uses or threatens to use force. Well, they haven't really done that yet. But yeah, once the force is used. Okay. Yeah, so they're not at that point yet. Where's deadly force coming into this? Because, so one of the things I think is the stupidest thing, well, there's so many things. It's like, well, police are going to use deadly force on me because they carry a gun. Like, no, that's not how that works. They're going to use deadly force if you're engaging in a circumstance that requires deadly force. Now, if they engage in deadly force outside of a circumstance that justifies it, yes, that's a big problem. And that happens maybe 3 to 5 times a year. Of the 700,000 police officers, 3 to 5 of them, right? Which is 3 to 5 more that should. But percentage-wise, it's really incredibly low, considering there are 10.6 million interactions between police and citizens 16 years of age or older. 10.6, yeah, 10.6 million. 3 to 5 people are shot when they shouldn't be, or when the circumstance doesn't justify it. Now, that comes from a variety of studies that I've pieced together, and might not be completely accurate, but the numbers are incredibly low considering. Oh, I grow so tired of these protesters. Come on. Give me the arrest. Yeah, he's literally starting a protest. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's a problem. Oh.
Just a little bit so the people can actually hear you.
Wait for it.
Lawfully, it's, we're supposed to be able to hear your warnings.
No. That's a really stupid move. Obstruction. Arrested.
That all bullshit that you do.
See, police get to do that because that's part of the job, right? The government allows them to shine flashlights at you so they can see what you're doing. But when you shine that flashlight at a police officer and blind them while there's a group of angry people outside, guess what? You're going to get arrested. If someone doesn't get arrested for this, I'm going to be a little upset because this is an arrestable offense. Honestly, this is obstruction. You're putting an officer's life in danger by potentially. It could be argued that you could be, right? Because again, small angry crowd. Officer can't see that well in the dark when they've been blinded. They are sitting there keeping an eye on the entrance to this building. That is their duty at the moment, and now you've stopped them from being able to do that. Obstruction. You absolute idiots. And then they're going to get arrested. Like, assuming they get arrested, they're going to get arrested and be like, why was I arrested? The police are a bunch of bastards. Like, no, you are stupid. Why would this make sense to you? Why? Like, look, I'm a fighter. I'm making a difference. And I'm all for fighting. I'm all for, trying to make the world a better place for everyone. This is not that. This is you being like, I want authority too. I want to do something. I don't want to work with the actual channels the way I should work it. I'm going to actually put people's lives in danger because the police are going to come and arrest us all for this. Like, that's you being stupid. Pisses me off. If you want change, take it. Get that change. But doing this and then complaining about the consequences, like if you do this and be like, I'm going to get arrested for this, let me do it, I actually am okay with it. Well, I'm not okay with it. I'm more okay with it. But when you do this kind of stuff and go, why would the police be such tyrants and arrest me for it? Ooh, woo, right? I have no sympathy for you. And a lot of these people, and I say a lot of these people because I've interacted with a lot of these people to be like, what's going on here? They refuse to learn about the law because they don't want to learn about the law because they don't want to associate with anything that has to do with law enforcement. Oh, law enforcement for police and police are bad and therefore we're not going to deal with it. We're going to do what we think is morally right, which is why they get in trouble, right? Like when I talk about these groups, like Proud Boys, fuck the Proud Boys, first of all. White supremacy can eat shit, right? I know they're bad. But when we have people be like, I don't like racism. Cool, I also don't like racism. But guess what? Shining flashlights at police officers is not the way to end that. And then when you're like, why was I arrested for shining lights at police officers? Are you kidding me? How are you that stupid? Anyway, I can't deal with that rant. So they're getting a little boop. Which now I feel bad about using this because it's actually a fairly serious situation that they're in. And I don't want to be like, oh, humor. No, like this is actually a big problem, right? This is way worse than that police officer not identifying himself. So, but let me just. Oh, you're such an idiot, dude. You're such an idiot.
What's in your hand? You got a weapon? What is that?
Oh my fucking God. Glenn, shut your goddamn pie hole. You absolute moron. You poor excuse for a human being. Stop. What's in your hand? I can't wait to meet him someday and be very polite towards him.
You guys are wasting money there. Just standing there.
Wasting money. He's there because you're there. Oh, there's this weird crowd of people that are upset with us. Well, better post someone on security. How does that not make sense to these people? It's wasting money. Then leave, right? The police are, that officers, I'm sure, right there because of you. Go away. Problem solved. You are literally the problem that you are complaining about. The waste of money. Oh, my God.
You don't deserve the fucking overtime. Yeah, come on, we care about our...
Then leave. If you don't want them to work overtime, get out of there. Oh, my God. Hey, there's crime in this area. Well, police don't deserve overtime, so we'll just let the criminals be here from 12 to 2. Doesn't really work that way, right? It's stupid. These are people being stupid.
That's bad for the environment, bro.
Yeah, come on.
Lower your carbon
Are you
impact,
guys
bro.
Turn off the fucking car at least.
Be a conservation. Do you not?
Turn off the car, you idiot.
God.
Just don't even recycle.
Probably not.
They just throw that
Shame
shit in
on
the
y'all.
garbage.
No, we just make things up about. I mean, yeah, okay, you can make that stuff up. That's fine. You have the right to do that. But like, the car is on so they can quickly respond to anything, and so that their lights can be on without draining the batteries. So they can see what you're doing because you are literally a nuisance right now. What is happening?
Like,
Shame.
it'll get.
You know they only wash like one side of their dish. The top half of their different place.
That's disgraceful. Y'all are
Turn off
Yeah, if I were that officer, I'd be calling in for backup and saying, hey, they're blinding me. I need someone to remove them. And that would be absolutely fair because that's literally what's happening.
the fucking car.
And you know that if that officer turned his spotlight back on, they'd start complaining. Now they're doing it to a second officer, so that's 2 counts of obstruction.
I don't see none of y'all masks on. What the hell?
Why would their masks be on? They're like 20 feet away from each other. Right? Now, if they were closer to each other, yeah, put a mask on. But at that, why would they be wearing a mask? Now, I'm all for mask wearing. You know how I feel about COVID and how legitimate I think it is. But in this circumstance, no, they're going to be fine.
To be fair, they're social distancing.
Irene, thank you.
Comrades.
Looks like comrades.
What?
You don't like a taste of your own medicine, do you?
Yo, well, the difference is the police can actually do that and have the legal authority to shine a light in your face. You are literally committing a crime when you do it. Frank, thank you.
Is he slapping your face with the light or what?
Are you calling it reinforcement?
I'd be calling in reinforcement. I assume he is. And they're going to complain.
Yeah, see, they don't like it back in their face.
Because there's a difference in legal authority. They have the authority to shine lights on people that are being weird, right? You don't have the authority to blind a police officer, you absolute moron. You imbecile. I don't have the words to describe how stupid you are. And to be encouraged to have started this in the first place. Now other people are getting involved. You're all morons. Every single one of you, I would happily say to your face. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but I'm saying you are a moron. And I would gladly help you understand what you are doing wrong here so that you don't continue to do it. Jesus Christ. I hope all of them get arrested.
They,
About to turn on the loudspeaker on us.
going to turn on a loudspeaker. That's stupid. Because now you're going to get hit with disorderly conduct and noise complaint, whatever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they complain. They wonder why they're getting arrested. Some of these protesters.
It's just not as loud as the other.
They told me earlier I'd be trespassing if I walked on here, but I don't know how they can trespass you from public property. That
Well, if he paid attention to anything I've ever put out, to include the videos on him, he would know that there's a thing called traditional public forums and non-public forums. We already explained that earlier in this video. Glenn, you absolute moron. If you're going to do this auditing stuff, you should probably know how to do it.
pay for.
Oh, he pays for the property and therefore it's public. Well, there's this really fun Supreme Court case. What was it? It was United States Postal Service versus Greensboro Civic Associations, I believe. And basically in that case, the Supreme Court's like, yeah, just because the government owns the property does not mean that you get to have access to it, right? Just because it's government property and your taxes pay for it does not mean you get access to it. The Supreme Court has ruled on that. Now, maybe you know more than the Supreme Court. Kind of doubt it, because we've already established that you've been wrong about a few other legal things. And these are, the top legal experts of the country. Well, that's the idea anyway. They're the top judges for sure. So you would assume that they would have some of the best experience, although whether or not that actually is the case could be up for debate. But it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, man.
We pay for public property, stupid fuck.
Okay, stupid fuck. That doesn't mean you get access to it. Supreme Court, do a little research.
You can't trespass us on public property.
And that is not correct. That is very wrong. Very, very wrong. Once again, Glenn showing off that he's a moron. So, you know what? Let's give him a few hits. He said at least 3 things that were incorrect.
Retard.
Here we
Look
go.
at that.
Get him.
Look at that. For
Bam.
what? I'm not trespassing.
They told him so many times, too. Oh, it's so good. It's so satisfying. Like, oh, yeah, no, we told you that you were going to be under arrest for trespassing. You confirmed that you knew this to these people. It's all on camera. We have multiple officers that can say, yes, you were told this, and you knew the consequences. And now, shockingly, boom, there they are, the consequences. What a surprise. Yay. I'm so happy.
I just
Run.
walked. What are you
Run.
talking about? Don't
Oh,
touch
he's
me.
trying to get away.
For what? For what?
Uh-oh.
What are you talking about?
Under arrest for trespassing. Please place your camera down.
I
do you
wasn't
mean
on
what
the
are you talking
property. I
about?
walked away.
Yeah. Okay. So here's how trespassing works. You enter the property. You're told don't be on this property, either by verbal instructions or signs, or maybe there's a fence. Fence doesn't apply here. Sign doesn't apply here. But the verbal commands do. Right? He was told if you do this, you will be trespassing. And then he did it again. And now he's trespassing. It doesn't matter if you look. Okay. If I go into someone's lawn and they went, "Hey, get off my lawn," I'm like, "All right. You're right. Let me get off your lawn." Whoop, I'm back on your lawn again. They went, "You're trespassing." I went, "Haha, no, I'm not." And I jumped back on. They went, "You're under, I'm calling the police." I jumped back. I'm like, "You can't. They can only arrest me when I'm actually on the property." That's not how that works, right? Because I actually did trespass. The fact that I did cross that boundary again. Once again, a little mind explosion there for you, Glenn. You're learning so much. I hope you're watching this. I doubt he will, because I'm sure his attention span is about 5 seconds. Otherwise, he would, I presumably, be able to do a little bit of research and actually find out how all this works. But no, I don't know what his problem is. I don't know if there's a cognitive, discrepancy in his old skull there, or what's happening, or if he does this intentionally knowing he's wrong, which I don't know if that's worse or not. It just doesn't compute. This is not complicated stuff.
Down. Sit down. You're under arrest.
Get him. That's kind of
No, I
hoping he'd
haven't. I
fight.
was walking.
What is your name?
I was doing the thing that they told me was trespassing.
Glenn.
Glenn.
Yeah.
The first letter of your last name.
C.
C. Glenn C.
Oh, there. So, the other protesters, this is what they do, and it's fair. Like, I have no problem with this. Is when someone's arrested, they get their name so they can look it up later in the log of who's been arrested, so that they can potentially pay bail. If the ACLU is involved, then they can possibly provide legal assistance, which is totally fine. I have no problem with that because that is your legal right, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what we're seeing here, and that's why we're like, what's your name? Blah, 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 blah. I think that's what's happening.
No, wait, we're 61 off one. So this way.
Dilarotica says it takes more training to be a masseuse than a cop. That's actually not true. See, a masseuse, well, let's use hairdresser, because that's used, like, hairdressers, like 2 years? A lot of that time is spent actually, like, doing the job under supervision. Now, police work, let's say they have 6 months in an academy. That's from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's not like college where it's like a couple classes here, a couple classes there. And actually, by the numbers, if you look at hours, is the equivalent of at least an associate's degree, right? That's 2 years of college. This 6 months is the equivalent in hours in many places to a 2-year college degree. So the hours actually equate pretty similarly in that sense, I guess. Now, when you look at hairdressers, and again, you said masseuse, but I use hairdressers because that's the more common thing. You also have on-the-job training. Now, police also have on-the-job training. They get an officer to be in charge of them. They do ride-alongs. They learn how to do the job. Now, that isn't usually considered as far as academy hours are going, because when you get to the actual department, that's when those hours start. And then you have a certain amount of hours you have to hit. So when you look at academy hours, it's actually less than the full training, because the training continues once you get to that police department for on-the-job training, which when you look at masseuse or hairdresser hours, a lot of that is on-the-job training that all gets factored in at the same time. So the hours are not as much of a discrepancy from each other as you might think, right? And that's just not information that's spread around. I can understand why that would be a concern, right? But I promise you that 6 months isn't like 3 hours here, few classes there. It's constant bam, 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 right? Here's what you enforce. Here's how you enforce it. Here's where, it stops and becomes, the prosecutor's job. Here's how you deal with a domestic. Here's how you do a traffic stop. Here is some constitutional law classes, etc. And then on-the-job trainings where you actually learn how to and get the experience in interacting with people, which is actually a huge part of the job and something that a lot of people don't realize is such a big part of the job. It's not just the training. The training is good, but interacting with people is where it's actually fairly challenging. But you can't really learn that in the classroom. So you get on-the-job training, but that isn't factored again into the academy hours. So I hope that helps. A lot of people get that wrong, though. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for getting it wrong. That's a common mistake. Glenn does not qualify stroke. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, he's worse than that. Auditor dude in Phoenix. Which one is that? Kathleen says, I did the police academy. Trust me, you're wrong. To Dill. Was Dill the one who said... Oh, yeah. Dill said it takes more training to be a masseuse than the cop. Kathleen says no. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading through your comments real quick. I hope my rant made sense. And he gets arrested. Hooray! Justice is served.
You can arrest me. I haven't done nothing.
Good job, police, for doing your job correctly, it would appear. And, of course, Glenn is still saying, I haven't done anything wrong, despite the fact that he confirmed that he knew what the consequences for his actions were. So we're going to give him a big old button hit for getting arrested. And I would assume it appears lawfully. Police didn't appear to do anything wrong with that arrest. I do want to see... Yeah, see, that right there is a problem. The flashlight.
Don't even recycle. Throw that shit in the garbage.
Which for some reason you guys can't see. Why is that just going to the black? That's weird. What is happening? Why is... I don't know what's happening. I'm going to look, though. I'm going to narrate it for you guys. See if he was standing still. He was moving. No, he stopped. He's going real slow.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no. I think it's a fair arrest. I think it's good. I'm going to say that one's a good one. And although he might not get a conviction, the arrest appears valid. So, hooray. Yeah, I don't know why it was a black screen. It was working just before. Doesn't Glenn live in my neck of the woods, says Tarek. Thank you for your donation. Yes, he does. He does live in my neck of the woods. And I'm thinking about trying to find him to do an audit of him, which I think would be a lot of fun to stream him from my phone or video him from my camera, whichever. Just be like, this is what it's like, dude. Hey, how's it going? Having fun? I'd be very nice to him too. I would correct him every time he says something incorrect about the police. I would correct him, and it would be a great time. I really want to do it one of these days. So yeah, but that's our boy Glenn Serio. No, I think the next one we do, I definitely should do the one from the military base, because I'm all about that life. But yeah, and for those of you listening, this is basically the end of the stream, and now I just get to just hang out with all y'all. And Auditor Eric Begtel, Auditor to look up, North Idaho exposed. Oh, that does sound fun. I'm gonna star that one for later. Dave Carey, Metro State, interesting stuff. It's two police bikes that look. Oh wow. Oh, David. We're saving that. That's a good image. It's a real good image. Donald Roth. Yep. Correspondent attention. Tampering with evidence. So I felt you guys might want something DeWitt related. What is this one? Oh, yeah. Vidler's Snitch. That's right. That's a fun one. I do have to finish watching that. But yeah, how's everyone doing? What's going on? No answer to the cost of misconduct. What was the question about misconduct? Get a hold of Dutch Doyle. Yeah. Will I bring the buzzer? I'm tempted to. If I was auditing Glenn. Alec will have to do that at some point. I can't right now, but at some point, yes. Yes. How's everyone doing? How's that going? Do I have a Discord for the public? I do. And the link only gets put out on these streams. So, I think Rennie has the link to that. She'll pop that in there. Do a blue bacon onesie. I don't know. I don't know who would make a blue bacon, like who I would go to for a blue bacon onesie. I would like that, though. I think it'd be a lot of fun. People that audit Lackland Air Force Base. Oh. Chapter 2.2 of the fanfic. Do we want that? I'll do that. I feel like I want to wait until this is actually a Jeremy DeWitt stream to do that, because this isn't like technically a Jeremy DeWitt stream. I'm going to save that for an actual Jeremy DeWitt stream. I'll have to find something to stream about when it comes to Jeremy. Let's see. I should be able to find something. Ooh, Ireland, yes. Rex Mo. I do. We don't know if it works yet. We're testing it out. Why do taxpayers pay hundreds of millions yearly for police misconduct? Because settlements happen. Because people file civil lawsuits. And there's a budget for paying that out. And because sometimes it's, although the police would have won in courts, it would actually cost the state more to fight the allegations than it is just to do a payout, which is something a lot of people don't consider. But as far as like I've never been responsible for any sort of payout. I don't know what the process is. But yeah. What other questions? Jeremy said that Vidler was suspended, but I heard from another page he wasn't. He isn't suspended. He has been moved to an administrative position pending the conclusion of the internal affairs investigation, which is usually what happens. Is in the internal affairs investigation, if one is started, whoever is the subject of it, whoever's the person that the investigation is into, doesn't work the road anymore, but they still have to get paid. And if they're going to get paid, they're going to do work. So they go into administration, just do paperwork. Like this is basically the most standard thing that could happen. And Jeremy thinks it's a big deal, and it really isn't. It just establishes that the investigation has begun. And he thinks that Vidler's been suspended without pay, which appears to be completely false. But you know how Jeremy is. He twists things to mean whatever he wants them to mean. And straight up lies about them. Dilrodicus, don't know what to tell you. I assume you could do a little bit of Google search and find out more on that on your own. But that is not my area of expertise. I'm not the person in charge of those payouts. I've never been involved in it. Couldn't tell you. Dash cam of some random driver. Yes, I saw that. And so someone took video of Jeremy doing his escorts, and he was blocking 2 lanes of traffic. And they were like, all right, well, I'm just going to go around because he can't hold both of them. And then Jeremy or someone got on the megaphone and started yelling at them like, sucks to be you, dude. You're breaking the law. So I'm going to respond accordingly. Well, that's fair. I agree with that. Jeremy, you can only have 1 lane of traffic. You can't hold both. Shocking. I know. Let's see. Cahoots is a program where a medic and a social worker answer 911 calls. They reduce the need for police responses. I love that. I think that, we do need more people involved in that sort of thing. I think mental health professionals should be dispatched alongside police, and that there should be things in place to make that an effective thing. I think that would be great. Do keep in mind, though, that when police are dispatched to a call, the only thing they know is what they're told by dispatch. And the only thing dispatch knows is what they're told by the people calling in. So sometimes police do respond inappropriately based on the situation because they didn't have good information, because it's a big old game of telephone. But if you have a healthcare professional that is familiar with the signs of mental health distress type situation, that would actually be very effective in I don't want to say deploying, but in sending the right units, right, to deal with the issue. Because I assume your average 911 phone operator is not going to be trained medically for mental health issues. So I have no problem with it. I think it's a great idea. Dutch cop audits. I mean, that would be fun. The problem is I don't know anything about Dutch law, so I can't really give any expertise. It's sort of like with sovereign citizens, I kind of ignore the Canadians and the British, Australian, New Zealand ones because I don't know how the law works in those areas, so I can't really give commentary. But in the United States, I have a pretty good base of knowledge on that sort of stuff. Have you seen the video with Corporal Ramsey interviewing Jeremy with the video from the body camera? I've seen an older one like that. Omaha cop block. Already has 5 arrests this year. He crawls on the gun, simulates having a gun in his back pocket, runs at cops, keeps hands in his pockets. Oh, well, I definitely have to look that up. Hold on. What was it? It was Omaha. Yeah, cop blocking is the stupidest thing you could do in regards of, in the auditing circles, cop blocking is incredibly stupid. Don't do it. Don't harass police officers while they're doing the jobs. You probably will get arrested. If you do that, I will consider you an idiot. You can watch them, it's fine. But blocking them? No, you're a moron. Stop ignoring us Canadians. Oh, it's stroke assault. I love that there's some great Canadian videos out there, but I'm like, ooh, how much do I know about Canadian law? There was one where a guy was using a megaphone that got arrested. I actually did do a lot of research in Canadian law for that one. I don't remember the outcome. It was an interesting one, though. I remember it being an interesting situation. Fox 1, what it puts. What else we got, folks? I got a little more time. What? Someone sent me a message. I legit just saw a dude in QFC. That's a grocery chain. Drop a legit baby bunny out of his coat. He hit the ground. He like breathed on it and put it back on his coat. In his coat. I'm like, maybe it was just like a hidden flask or something, right? I was like, oh no, my flask. how topical. Because they make fake baby flasks. Like, why not fake baby bunny flasks? Frank Perry, thank you. Omaha Cop Block is a little challenged, and he is being used by others, and they're going to get him killed one day. So you think that other auditors are encouraging him to do this? Ooh, that's dangerous. Who should play you in the Netflix movie about Metro State? Who's that guy in Parks and Recreation? Hold on. Well, obviously, whoever did Blue's Clues should. Or a young Matthew Broderick, but I can't turn back time. Parks and Recreation cast. Hold on. Give me the... No. Rob Lowe. I'd take Rob Lowe. I'd take Chris Pratt, too. I think it would be a lot of fun. Calling the fire department over an armed robbery. What? Where'd that come? Amazing Audits. I'm sure I've seen Amazing Audits. What do you mean? What? Oh, the bunny thing? Yeah, what the hell? I assume that's what the hell is about. Maple syrup, not table syrup. You're right. No, maple syrup is far superior. And I wish it was used more here, but it isn't. Do I think JD is slowly losing his mental stability? Watching the last part of his most recent video, he sounds like everyone that comes in contact with him is out to get him. I do think he is, actually. I think he sort of operates on, he builds a persona, he builds, a background. He lives a lie, and usually he can get away with small challenges to it. No big deal. But now that the entire world, not the entire world, but like, there's so much negativity towards him that's challenging this story he's created and the lies he's told to create it. I think that he's trying to push all that away, and it is actually detrimental to his mental stability. I think he is finding himself in a lot of trouble because he is unable to sort of be like, hey, I was wrong. I said a lot of things that are not true, and I tried to maintain the lie, and I couldn't. I think that's where we're at right now. I don't think he's doing well mentally. Like I am worried about the choices he's making. I'm not really worried for him. He dug his grave, but I'm worried about the people that his choices will affect. So it's a thing. Oh, Quebecois. Whenever training in Sask, if a certain Quebecois unit was in town, I'm French Canadian. Nobody likes me. MPs were posting the mess from open and close. Oh, problems, huh? I love it. I love it so much. I mean, Swanson would be fun to play me. But when a young Brendan Fraser, get out of here, I would choose that in a heartbeat. I was just thinking about The Mummy today. 1999 Mummy starring Brendan Fraser. Watch it if you haven't. It's amazing. The girl in that movie. Both girls in that movie. You know which ones I'm talking about. Good casting. Good. A young Arnold. No, I'm too small. All right. Audit the Audit's new stuff seems legit. That's good. No, I'm glad. Because he had a really good... I really appreciated the way the content was produced. It was the information that I was just like, no, dude. Oh, you're ignoring some very important stuff. And if he's improved that, which I would hope he does, nothing but respect for that improvement. Because he was doing very well when I saw him, and it was like, no, this isn't right. I can only assume that he's continuing to do well if his message is improving. Although I think a lot of the people who watched him were auditors because he did support them. Unfortunately, a lot of the support was misplaced. At the time it was, from my own observations into a few of his videos. So he had a strong backing from the auditing community. I don't know what's changed, if he is more accurate with his information. I have no idea. Seth MacFarlane. Can I do any of his voices? I can do Joe, kind of. Get a little Joe in there. But I feel like I could do Brian if I worked at it. Maybe. I don't know. How's the investigation going into my friend going? Not well. My friend's doing better, but it's turned on me, the some of the stuff, and I'm now dealing with a lot of things that I am dealing with in regards to the person who was causing problems. So now an anti-harassment order is being put in place, as well as some other paperwork and possibly a lawsuit, because I'm missing work for my real job to stay at home in case something happens to my home. You know, like I'm cutting hours, and so if I have to, if I get the chance to just hit them with a big old lawsuit, even if I get no money from it, you know, it's a problem. It's very frustrating. A lot less sleep than usual, because every time I hear a noise, I wake up and check my cameras and whatnot. Very frustrating. Let me see. Yeah, man, we have some syrup. Yeah. Is it legal to import maple syrup into the USA? You probably have to go through proper customs officials. They might have to pay to have, because that would be produce, right? And there are some places you can't import food. That I don't know, but there could be challenges. I was almost deputized as a customs official once upon a time, which basically meant I was responsible for making sure things were introduced from Afghanistan back into the United States on the tactical vehicles or in people's duffels, that sort of thing. But they spelled my name wrong, and then they're like, "Yeah, no, we can't do this if you're..." Like, I went through the entire program, and at the end, they gave me a certificate, and I was like, "This is the wrong name, technically. Like, you misplaced a letter." They went, "We can't give you the certificate then because we have to have this approved like a month out." And because someone spelled your name wrong when they gave it to us, I didn't give it to them. Yeah, that sucks. So I didn't get deputized, which I'm fine with because I didn't have to do all the work that the other people would have had to do if we had, deployed. So it was great. I got all the training and none of the responsibilities. It was phenomenal. All right. PayPal Patty is one of them that encouraged him to go to places and do things to get the police going, like reaching behind his back. Oh, PayPal Patty. That name has popped up a few times. Jeremy's a national celebrity. Even people on the West Coast know about him. Yeah, that's true. What else do we got? Was I doxxed? I was not doxxed. This is someone in my personal life that I'm dealing with. This isn't like some stranger over the internet. So, but yeah. I love that the chat's just about maple syrup now. What else we got, folks? What else do we want? What do we want to know? Oh, yeah, there's merch that Rennie just dropped. Yeah, if you guys want a shirt or something. I might buy my own stuff, autograph it, and then pop it back out. For fun, this. Good old James. Yeah, James Freeman's an absolute idiot. He's nuts. Video with the timestamp. Which one was that? I don't know, because it's a black screen. I don't know what's going on there. So when's the trial begin? It was supposed to be tomorrow, I think. But I think they pushed it back, so not until a little bit later. Sometime this month should be happening. We hope. Don't know. Not sure. Couldn't tell you. Sorry about that, eh? Hey, Stroke Assaulter, from the Great White North with our Moose and Tim Hortons, Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry. Commentator Auditor, thank you. Did happen to find out who outfits JD's Metro State vehicles with their lights. I have that written down somewhere. I mean, they're not responsible for how he uses it. They just install it. Oh, wait, 37. I don't know if it's working. I let me put it back here. If it does work. Blue bacon shirt, just a normal blue bacon shirt. I could do that. Mark Bell, how's it going? Happy Easter. I don't know if the 37 is working. HG2 is the company. Oh. Interesting. What do I think about the Derek Chauvin, or is that how it's pronounced? What do I think about the trial? I haven't been following the trial. I'm going to trust the courts to find justice where justice is due. But I don't have the time to follow it. Fiddler Snitch, first video, the timestamp you sent. I want to. It's just that when I go to the thing that's supposed to show the internet. Actually, you know what? I might be able to. Hold on. I have a solution. Possibly. A possible solution. Let me try. Jeremy's clip. 20 minutes, 12 seconds. Got it? Let's see what happens. Yeah. Oh, ow. Jeremy, stop it. Jesus. All right. 2012, you say. Does this work? Is this going to work? Why is it not working? No. All right, hold on. That should have worked. What happened? Hold on, guys. I don't... It just doesn't work. It's just like, yeah. Yeah, cut that. That is a long intro, isn't it? Of just nothing, right? Like I do long intros too, but like mine actually have substance. You know? Why? I don't think I get it working. I think it's just like, no, screw you, dude. It just wants to be that way. All right, let me try. No. I can't get it working. It's just not going to do it. I mean, you can listen to the audio, I guess.
And that's Saturdays where video.
Wait, is this... This isn't the audio. Right, Victor Foto Lopez reached out to Jeremy because he had some deep regrets about the statements he made when he was being pressured by Sergeant Keith Fiddler and Corporal John Ramsey. Victor met Jeremy in his office. Somehow I doubt that's actually true. Oh, Scumdog, thank you. Yeah, Jeremy does think that, and what a fool.
Somebody. So in 11 years, you've got the 6 videos where shit went sideways.
Oh, language.
Nobody said I'm a police officer. Get out of your fucking car. Nobody.
You told people to pull over though, and you refused to tell people you're a police officer, Jeremy.
Said I'm a police officer. Pull over. All I said was get the fuck out of my funeral. And
no, that's not all you said. You directed people to pull over that weren't in any way interfering with your funeral.
it's gotten to the point where real world's editing where you're not showing the niceness. You didn't show when I said...
It doesn't matter if he's being nice. He still doesn't have the authority to direct people out of the funeral. And I have requested some of those videos, and there is no interaction prior to him losing his mind.
3 or 4...
I'm not saying that none of them have interaction of him losing his mind, or none of them have niceness. I'm saying the ones I've seen did not. Sarah, thank you so much.
You know as well as I do. How many times I would tell
Oh,
someone...
yeah. That's someone who's just being agreeable, but not agreeing. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Get out of the funeral. I'd say get out of the funeral nicely. How many times? A lot. And then I'm finally screaming, hey, you're obviously not getting it, so get the fuck out of my funeral, moron.
Yeah, you still don't have the authority because you can't hold more than one lane. Most of the ones I've seen where people get in his funeral, he's like, get out of my funeral. It's in a lane that he does not have the authority to hold. Shocking how that works. Oh my God. Right? Like, you can't pull people out of that lane. And even if you could, you don't have the ground. Like, no, it just doesn't. You can't do that, Jeremy.
I mean, I've told you 4 times. What am I supposed to do? I'm waking up in the morning.
You call the police and have them do it for you. You don't get to do it. Or you deal with the hand you've been dealt, guy. It's just so stupid.
Giant fucking neon yellow fucking highlighter shirt.
Yeah, but no one knows what you are because guess what? The police use those shirts. Shocking. Well, the jackets anyway. And it doesn't generally... You have one car that says funeral escort. One that I'm aware of. And then when people are like, what are you doing? And you're like, you better figure it out real quick, and you don't tell them, right? You're like, how do people not know? Bro, because you don't tell them. That's why they don't know.
Going into a car with purple lights and signs that say Metro State all over it.
Yeah, no, you're right. He did just say it was him yelling.
You know?
People don't know what Metro State is, guy. Like, it says Metro State on it. Yeah, what is that? People ask and you don't tell them.
I tell people, COVID's bad, and that's sad, and I really feel bad about it. But if it wasn't for COVID, I'd probably be in jail right now.
That's actually 100% accurate. If it wasn't for COVID, he probably would be in jail because they keep giving him bond or bail or whatever. Because of COVID, they're not putting people in. They're being a lot more lenient about allowing people to pay to stay out of jail because of COVID. It's
because
true.
I wouldn't have had time for all the proof and all the truth to come out.
Yeah, I think they filed a lot of extensions to possibly COVID-related extensions. Like, hey, hold on, we want to extend because of COVID. What truth has come out? No, the truth that's been coming out is you lying and committing crimes, Jeremy.
The fact that Vittler behind my back and with Alec is trying to start a funeral escort business. I mean, you just said yourself that you know the truth to come out. The fact that Vittler behind my back and with Alec is trying to start a funeral escort.
Oh, so now Alec is also trying to start a funeral escort company. Alec, I know that you sometimes are in here. If that's the case, I'd love to know. At no point has Alec ever said that was the case. Interesting. Very interesting. How do we even know this is video?
Escort business?
Or photo, sorry.
I mean, you just said yourself that you know it. It's like, how does he think? So here's a question. How does he think?
This does appear to be illegally recording a private conversation. This isn't a camera that's out in the open. It appears hidden to me.
He's going to send me to prison, right? Mm-hmm. No offense to you. Don't take disrespect. No offense to you or recycle. But you talk a lot. So you don't think that I'm going to be in prison and then one day Alec and him are running the funeral escort business that they started, which was initially planned to get me put out of business? Even
if that was the case, and Vittler was like, yes, I do want to start a business. Hey, guess what? Doesn't mean that Jeremy's not also committing crimes. Right? Now, there are some concerns about what that would mean, but there's still the big issue of Jeremy committing crimes, which we know to be happening. So, Victor asked him not to record. Well, I hope this has been forwarded. Victor, if you're here, I encourage you to press charges. If anyone here knows Victor, I would encourage him to press charges. If Victor said, don't record, I don't want to be recorded, Jeremy is once again committing crimes. Well done, Jeremy.
So I could go to jail, and you knew about it, and you don't think that one day you're going to tell somebody when they're running a funeral escort business? I mean, what the fuck are they thinking? I don't know, man.
Oh, does he? He has a everything on the premises might be or will be recorded or might be recorded. If he has that sign, that would protect him. Unless, of course, Victor's like, hey, are we being recorded right now? I want to have this conversation private. And then Jeremy said, oh, yeah, there aren't any recordings happening here. Then it's no longer protected because then there is an expectation of privacy. The sign removes the expectation of privacy, but if Jeremy says, no, you're not being recorded, it puts it back in place. So, don't know if that's the case. But just for fun, let's give Jeremy a big old buzzer hit.
I don't know.
Well, I know they only
Florida
have
is a two-party
one
state.
Contract. I forget who though, but I know they have one contractor somewhere in Maitland somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Probably the Gatsby.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. So, anyway. Yeah, was it you or Recycle recording us at the mall?
Recycle.
Recycle recorded it.
I didn't know.
And you should hear his little interview. 4
Who's
fucking
that?
hours worth.
Yeah, I do like that you did in the interview where you said you altered the videos on the computer, which I love because they're using those videos to say I committed all these crimes, but you even admitted to Ramsey.
No, he admitted to Ramsey that Jeremy told him to edit the videos to remove the audio. If I remember correctly, the admission was Jeremy asked me to remove siren noises. Right? So I think Jeremy's saying, oh, you edited the videos so that there were siren noises, and now they're using those videos which have sirens. No. I'm fairly certain the admission was removing the sirens, not adding them in. That's tampering with evidence. So yes, correct. Good. Thank you for pointing this out to me. That is tampering with evidence. If you believe, I mean, that depends on the intent. If you're like, this could be incriminating, I should remove these. Well, there are a variety of laws that could be violating. At that point, it could be conspiracy to, commit crimes and get away with it and hide the fact that it's being done, destruction of evidence, a bunch of things. Like, this is a problem. This is absolutely a problem, and Jeremy thinks it's not, and he's absolutely wrong. Mark, thank you. Doesn't want to do funerals. Spoke with Vidler this week. Well, if that's the case, then yeah. I don't think Jeremy's right about that one. Ali D, thank you so much. Darth Fiddler is trying to steal his funeral business. Darth Fiddler. Let's keep listening to the audio. Why don't we?
You altered the videos and added my voice and sirens and all that shit for fun. I don't altered the videos and added my voice and sirens.
Added my voice. No. Now Jeremy's making stuff up because he knows he's recording it. So Jeremy's like, let me just throw this in here real quick and get it on video. Photos shown in the video.
For fun. I don't understand how they're using those videos.
Well, the ones that are tampered with. That you could face criminal charges for tampering with. Right? The ones that, if I remember correctly, you told people to remove stuff from, not add stuff to.
It blows my mind.
Shocking. Scum Dog, I don't know if I thanked you for your information. Thank you.
Pulled me over. On video. He's sitting down. And you for me to go to my office, so to pull me over even after he was ordered to stand down.
I'm pretty sure the order to stand down was revoked. They withdrew that.
After he was ordered to stand down. So he's sitting here circling Orlando waiting for me to go to my office, so to pull me over even after he was ordered to stand down. I understand you guys were in fear. I get that. Everyone was in fear.
Oh, Jeremy. Well, you'll find out in court. Because if they use the defense, well, it's been edited. Well, who edited it? We did. Why? For fun? Yeah, it's not going to fly. That's not going to be a good defense to bring up. I promise you. He edits in Victor apologizing for tampering with evidence. The timestamp, was that the 20-minute one?
We're doing 960 escorts a year times the 11 years that we've been in business. So we've done 10,560 funeral escorts. And that's average. I'm not even sure because there's some Saturdays where we've done 18. And, then there's some Saturdays where we've done only 10. Right?
Yeah. That's someone just who's like, I don't want to be here, but I'll agree.
So we've done 10,000 escorts. And Real World has 6 videos that they keep splicing and putting together and changing it. You got 6 videos that show me yelling at somebody.
Yeah, 6 videos that show you committing crimes, guy. 6 videos. Committing crimes. We don't need a trillion videos. We have 6. And there's probably more. But in those ones, the reason they were probably selected is because you were breaking the law in them. And then you're facing criminal charges for it, which is also probably why those ones are used, because those are the ones that are used for the crimes you've been charged with. It's not, hey, give me all the thousands of hours of videos he has. It's, hey, give me the videos that were used to establish that he's committing crimes for these particular charges. That's how that works. Jeremy has no idea how this stuff works, and it boggles my mind.
So
the video does have a bunch of edits.
Years,
what's the timestamp? Remind me. I think someone said it. Beep up boop beep boop up bum. Here, Jeremy, pull it back in. All right, Victor photo. Hold on. All right, 20 minutes, 12 seconds.
And Real World has 6 videos that they keep splicing and putting together and changing it. You got 6 videos that show me yelling at somebody. So in 11 years, you've got the 6 videos where shit went sideways. Nobody said I'm a police officer, get out of your fucking car. Nobody said I'm a police officer, pull over. All I said was get the fuck out of my funeral. And it's gotten to the point where Real World's editing where you're not showing the niceness. You didn't show when I said 3 or 4 times. You know as well as I do. How many times I would tell somebody to get out of the funeral? I'd say get out of the funeral nicely. How many times?
A lot.
And then I'm finally screaming, hey, you're...
This is not the voice of someone who's enthused. This is someone's like, yep. Okay, guy. You crazy weirdo.
You're obviously not getting it, so get the fuck out of my funeral, moron. I mean, I've told you 4
Language,
times.
Jeremy. I love how Jeremy's like, I don't get angry like that, as he proceeds to get angry like that.
What am I supposed to do? I'm waking up in the morning getting dressed in a high, giant fucking...
Yeah, it's this guy. Well, I'm going to need a timestamp because I can't go through all 20 minutes of it. The sirens bit. Does it have... Does have a transcript. Actually. Thank you, Josh.
I sent you home for using a cycle. Gonna say how many times did I try to? I sent you home for using a siren.
Seems unlikely. And then he edits out the response to that. Of course he does. Send him home for using a siren. Okay, Jeremy. Okay. I have my doubts on that. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Altered the videos and added my...
RFD, thank you. I've been robbing banks for 10 years, but they get 6 of them on video. Now, all of a sudden, I'm a bank robber. Yes. Bingo.
Voice and sirens and all that shit for fun. I don't understand how they're using those videos. It blows my mind.
It was my fault. I take the blame for that.
Oh my God, you're right. He just randomly said, "It is my fault. I take the blame." We don't know what that's from. That could be for anything. That could be for something completely unrelated to this conversation. Jeremy, if you're gonna cut up videos, you understand we can tell when you've cut them up, right? Video and audio. Audio is a lot easier to hide cuts in than video is. Are you ready for the jump?
Blows my mind.
Jump.
It was my fault.
He said, "It is my fault."
I take the blame for that.
Takes the blame, and then another cut. Right? Oh, Arash, thank you. The 500K. Yeah, so Arash had someone who was saying, like, you're just mad because he makes $500,000 a year. And you don't. And Arash is like, I'm going to flex on you. First of all, you're wrong. Also, like, you don't know who I am or what I make, but it's a lot. Something like that. It was great. It was beautiful. It was great. I appreciated it. Yeah. Rennie says they're not using Real World Police videos. No, they're using the original videos that are from the hard drive, right? So if Real World Police is editing, it doesn't matter because that's not what's going to be submitted to court. If they're arguing that they edited the videos before the police got them, well, I mean, if they're saved under the same name and the same file and whatever, then okay, then there is a concern. But if Real World Police is getting videos with sirens in them, with Jeremy's voice, etc., and those have been inserted by Jeremy or the people he paid to do that, then Jeremy doesn't really get to use the excuse that they're not real, because then he has to explain why they're not real and why he's changing things up. And if the excuse was, it was just for fun, then the counter arguments can be like, well, what fun are you deriving from showing him committing crimes? Why are you paying someone who is editing footage to make it look like you are a criminal? And what is the benefit for them, right, if they're doing it on their own? If no one sees it, what's the point of doing it? Unless, of course, he's also involved in this and he's doing corrupt things for the police department, which Jeremy does not seem to think is the case because he's not accusing Photo of doing corrupt things for the police department, right? None of these claims that this was edited by Photo make any sense. 0 sense. It's nuts. It's so stupid. Josh is telling me to check my email. It's just the fact that he thinks that this makes sense, that people would believe this, it doesn't make sense. Timestamp shows Jeremy openly admit it's him wearing the interrogation video. He states it's not him. That's true. No, he did say that. Okay, yeah, that's 2012. Yeah, Jeremy's like, it's, they're showing me, yelling and stuff. But then he's like, that's not me yelling. Like, bro, you can't have both. You have to pick one or the other. Did Jeremy ever get insurance? That's the question, is it? Commentator Auditor, thank you. Be careful reviewing JD videos. Apparently his intro music and transition scene music is copyrighted. I just received a copyright claim on one of my videos for it. That is why I skip and mute his intro. But that is definitely a very good call, because that has been a concern of mine. I'm sorry that you got copyright strikes for it. Pet Match, thank you. More tales from the DeWitt talk about editing videos. DeWitt does it, and he does a pretty bad job doing it. He does a terrible job of editing. It's awful. It's like I do editing for my stuff, and I know how difficult it can be. Jeremy, it's like he doesn't even try, right? Like I usually try. There are these little things I do to sort of cover up any edits I don't want to be like super obvious. Jeremy doesn't do that. That was the most obvious edit that he could have made. Well, not the most, but it was certainly pretty obvious. Oh my God, this guy. I whatever. I talk too much, get a copyright claim. That's the idea. Also, I just talk a lot. JD stands up in court and yells, "That's not me, Judge. 93 days for contempt of court." Yeah. Oh, yes. All right. I do have to get going, guys. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love that. I don't know. I had fun doing the whole audit thing. It does really make me, like Jeremy, I'm sort of like, I'm used to him by now. So I'm like, yep, there he goes again. And I get mad. Like when he's just straight up lying. We know he's lying. But auditors, oh, they piss me off so much. Not all of them, but Glenn does. I'll rephrase. Glenn pisses me off. There are some great auditors out there. Glenn is the exact type of person I would be very happy to not see on this earth anymore. I'm not ever going to be the person I would hope to make that happen. I just want you all to understand how absolutely strongly I detest that man for who he is as a person and how he conducts himself. So, oh, my very camp voice shutter speed. And yes, when I'm talking about something a little dirty. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, he needs photo back to do his edits, Frank. Yes, he does. Is this stream sponsored by Taco Bell? It might as well be. I'm about to go snack on some aged Taco Bell right here. Still a little warm. Okay. That's good. But yeah, hey, happy holidays. Happy spring holidays, everyone. Tomorrow I might get myself some cheap jelly beans. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love me some jelly beans. But, yeah, you guys have been phenomenal. Thank you so much to those of you who donated. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up to a non-Jeremy DeWitt stream. I was worried that no one was going to show up. Like, we don't want him for anything else. But no, you guys came out. Yeah, you checked it out. I really appreciate that. I love to have you here. You know I like talking to you guys and having a conversation. Unfortunately, my life, it does. We hoped it would get less difficult, and that has not been the case. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to make this channel much more active. But every time I start to, just my life, just you know what? No, not more active. No. So, and peace lead the way. No. All right. Until the next time, folks, be good. Stay safe.